Well, welcome back to the real feel. Welcome back to the wetness of me life. I was gonna do an outside, but welcome to the new people too, and welcome back. And sorry I don't post as much, but again, if you follow along, you should know you know. And if you're new, then you gotta follow along. But I was gonna shoot one outside today. I was gonna put the real feel outside. Again, I don't have my mics. My mics are in. It's just not compatible with this phone. So I can't really, I can't really use them. So I'm trying to speak as loud as I can, and when I edit this, I try to turn the volume up. And yes, I'm still, for most of you that don't know, if you see me pushing up on my mouth, I know I don't really have to talk about it, but to me, these ones feel weird sometimes. And I just finished eating, so yeah. But anyways, welcome back to the real feel. Welcome back. Welcome back to me alive. Most of the time I post on TikTok, Kevin James Harper, number 4 life, number 4 LIFE, Kevin James Harper 4 life is on TikTok. If you don't have Facebook, I'll put my TikTok below. And most of the time I put my Facebook below because I don't have a website for my product, Me Life. And also I post a lot of like shorts and like reels, or sorry, they're not shorts. Shorts are on here. The most of the time I post reels on Facebook, and I post videos on TikTok. But my long videos are on here. The longer ones, the more like, here I am laid back, try to like chill out, more stories, broken down type dealio stuff. On there, I try to keep it under 10 minutes. I try to keep it under 7. Most of the time it's under 10 minutes, but here is like 30 minutes, or I don't know. I have some on here that's an hour that I have conversations with people, and yeah. So that's that. And I always have so much to say, but when, most of the time when I turn on the camera, I don't know how to put it. I don't know what to say or how to put it. I don't want to read no script. Like, I don't want to read, like, I'll write down ideas and stuff on my phone of what I want to talk about, but I don't really want to like talk a script. I'm not about coming on doing a script. It's good to have like points and stuff of what your aim is, what you're talking about, but most of the time it's like the real feeling of like my life, and then I'll bring up situations that I've been through. Or as you go back to the other ones, I've talked about certain like suicides and like mental health, and it's most of the time my channel has been coming out of hard struggles and hardship and addiction, and then coming into like my passions and doing videos. And I have older videos from my other channel. Long story short, I've learned along the way. I've grown. I feel I've done my research. I've watched the videos. I've done the healing in certain places, so I know that I'm like I'm in a better spot than I was. So I'm trying to approach things differently, I guess. But I've always wanted to like educate. Not always wanted to, but I've always wanted to break it down in a better way and not come aggressively with like talking about like addiction and trying to educate other people that are on social media, because a lot of people come on and they comment on certain things about addictions on the street, or they comment about how homeless people are doing this and how they are, and it's sad what people say. And I mean, I know I don't care about other people's feelings, and really people don't care about your feelings, right? They just want to see nowadays it's true consistency and just showing up and doing, it's a want thing for a lot of these things. But when it comes down to like judging and criticizing when you have no fucking idea, and then again, the first thing that comes to mind for the people that aren't going through this and they're talking from the outside, and they're like, well, they can just get a job. And I don't want to like criticize or judge anybody and I don't want to put anybody down that says this stuff. Again, I'm here to educate, and I want to educate people, and I want people to understand, and I'm trying to come at a different approach. We're not like, oh, I can't believe this person said, like, no, like I want to be like, hey, like this is that, and this is that. And so they can understand it and maybe look at it from a different angle. For example, people take videos of people on the streets of being addicts and acting weird, or they'll drive by them and they'll see some weird shit, and then they'll comment or they'll post about it on Facebook and stuff. And really, before I would be like, I would come at it aggressively. I would come at it with the right education in some way, and some people get it, some people don't. But the ones that don't, I want to help as well. So I want to come at it from like the truth, like be real, the real feel, but also like educate the ones that really don't understand. And the first thing they come to, they're like, oh, why are they doing that? Like, how are they going to get a job, or how are they going to do this, or how are they going to end up? It's the first thing they think of is like, they need to get a job. They need to get a job. They need to get a job. Or they need to get off the street. They need to get off the street. They need to get a job. And it's like, when you're that deep, man, you're not thinking about a job. Like, you're thinking about finances. And if you have finances, then you're just going to go buy drugs. And most of the time. And it's not about the job. Like, they're not thinking about the job. They're thinking about how to get clean. They're thinking about how to get out the spot. And then the first thing they say, again, these other people that don't understand, they would be like, well, they need to get a job first. No, they need guidance. They need the help, right? Like, I understand that these people don't understand, and I get it. But I'm educating the ones that are talking about it, that want to talk about it, or see it, and they judge it, or they'll post about it, and they'll be like, they'll say some crazy fucking shit about it. And then I'm like, it's hard to keep up sometimes. And then I'm like, well, let's break it down a little bit and tell people that how, like, what they truly need. Like, don't really say, like, you're not a saint yourself. So, like, what do you truly think they're actually thinking, and what they truly want? And I almost guarantee you 90% of the time, 95 or more percent of the time, they're not thinking of like, oh, how do I get a job? Yeah, they may be thinking of like a career or something they want to be doing in a sense of how to make funding. But when I was in it for 10 years. This is the stories about mine. I was in it for 10 years. And when I was starting to I tried 4 or 5 times in the 10 years. The last like 5-6 years I tried. And then the last time I actually wanted to try, I kept saying to me and like trying to people around me, which they were trying to tell me to go a different route, and it wasn't really working because I tried it so many times. But I was working full time at the time, or most of the time I was paying for my own habit most of the time. Yeah, I was getting like loans and stuff after that, but I'd pay back whatever the fact is. But most of the time I was working all the time, and I was paying for my addiction. But at the time, the last time that I wanted to get clean, when I was like 34. About 34. I wanted to stop working and sit back and rest and go back to, like, I already had my passions and stuff set, and I wanted to get back to that, right? That's what I wanted to get back to, but I wanted to rest, and I wanted to get the support, and I wanted to get the guidance, and I wanted to get the help. I wasn't thinking work because I already had work, and then I just kept doing the same circle. I would get stressed out from work, or I'd get stressed out from that, and then I would try to do this and try to get clean. I would do it for 2 weeks, and then I'd get back to it. And then I would go back to work, and then I'd just keep doing the same thing. But thankfully, thank fucking the universe, at the time, on a positive note with the pandemic hit around that time. It was 2020 at the time. And work started to slow down, and then we started to get the supplement that was coming in. And for me, yes, my timing was like, it was kind of perfect, where I was like, oh my God, I can get money and I can stop working for a whole year and get clean. Like, I can do what I wanted to do for this whole time. It was like something in a good way. And I'm not saying this is something that's going to get thrown at you, that's going to help you lift out of this to make you get clean, or to help you get clean and to help you get better and stuff. I'm not saying that's the one thing that hit for me, and thank fucking God and thank fucking universe that hit, because I got money, more money than what I was making, and I've already been working, trying to get clean, going back to work, trying to get clean, going back to work, just doing this like back and forth. I needed money, and I needed time and space, and even though there was no help, and even though there was no like guidance, there was no help, there was online and stuff, but there was no in person. Everybody knows what the pandemic was like, right? But for an addiction and someone in recovery standpoint, I know there's a lot of people that can probably understand, but this is for the people that don't understand, is that are like trying to educate it and telling you a little story about it. But yeah, if it wasn't for that, like it wasn't even about the pandemic. It wasn't even about that, because that I had no, like I said, no, I had it all myself. I had to do it all myself. I got all my music stuff back. I used the money to buy all my laptops, all my mics back, all my stuff back, lighting back, everything. I even vlogged it, or I even started doing this. And that's on my old channel. I'll put my old channel in the description below, so you can go follow that. But there's the story on that channel where, that happened, and then the money started coming in, and all of my stuff started coming in. So I started doing that for a good whole year or so, a couple years. But the point is that it wasn't about work. Yes, they need finances, and yes, they need like a space to live in, or they need places to like stay, but they need and let me note this, not everybody has a dream and a passion and a talent, and well, everybody has a talent, I believe. They just need to like bring it out and show it and find it, and something to trigger it, to bring it out. But not everybody has like a dream towards something, or know how to like grasp towards that. Thank fucking God and thank the universe that I had something, and not all of these people do. So the point is that people, or not even just we, but they need more of that to like help them get out of that, to help them keep them busy, and then doing what they love, that keeps them happy every day, something that gives them that drive. Just like me, it gave me that drive. And then the finances that will help them get by for the whole year, or for the whole like 6 months, a good year, 6 months, but like a good solid year, for like doing, getting better, healthier, trying to find your passions. If you have some, then follow them, your goals, your career, trying to get back to your families, trying to get back to your friends again. It's not about getting a job at first. It's not. And everybody has their way of doing recovery and stuff. In some ways I don't agree with, and I know they don't even agree with our end, or my end, or how we do it, or how I do it. If it's crazy, but I know how I'm getting through, and I know my experience, what got me through, and still to this day that I go through so much fucking shit. And again, not complaining, starting to understand that going through all this, and I'm still clean, and I'm still getting through. It's the things that I love to do, and the things that I have a passion towards, and the things that I found my purpose, and maybe I found mine a little bit more earlier than most, but I know now that I'm still learning things, so I know that it's not too late to find what you love or what you enjoy or what you want to do. To get out of these bad habits, to get out of these bad routines, these bad patterns, to get out of these addictions, to get out of these things. These are the things that are going to help you and guide you through it. It's finding that. But I know that it's hard to understand for most, or, they say, like, for example, like the person, again, not aggressively coming at anybody or being rude or being that person, or don't want to be that person. I want to like help educate in a way. And someone is like how someone was acting on the street by taking a picture and they had drugs in their hand or they had a pipe near them. And I see it all the time. But I'm like, they're trying to find light, and they find light in a different way. At least they're trying to find light. And they're like, well, how are they going to find a job? And I'm like, they're not even and I just explained all that. That's not their main focus, and that's not. And I'm like, okay, I gotta like, some of this may not reach most of those people on here. I try to clip these up a little bit, bring everybody into like the bigger picture and the bigger video and the longer conversations, and me rant for like 30 minutes. I try to like settle it down in a way. Sometimes, and try to slow it down in a way and try to make it an actual podcast, but also it is the Real Feel channel, and this channel started off different how it started. I wish I can get my old channel back, which I'm going to. I keep saying that, but again, I have so much on my plate that I'm trying to like build and deal with, but I'm just doing. That's what I say nowadays. I'm just doing. But back to that is that they don't like, that's what helped me. And I see most people out there, even that are going through recovery and got out of addiction, same thing. They did the same thing, not the exact same way, exact same thing that I did, but I know something like it, and they're still doing it, and they're still clean. They just found peace, and that took me years to get through, and it took me a long time to like, everybody has their purpose. So I believe that it was my purpose. I believe it was my path till now. But in your purpose, or finding your purpose, it will take a while. It will take time. You'll think you're there. I like the one quote everybody brings up and says, it's only up from here. Like once people, they get into that, we get into that spot and we're like, yeah, it's only up from here. Nothing can stop. Like, I get that nothing can stop me from here. So maybe that's what they mean. Like, nothing can stop me from here. It's only up. But if they're meaning that they're up there and nothing can happen, and they're already winning, and no mistakes or no bad things can happen to teach them, then that's false, because you won't always stay up here. You're always going to keep learning and growing. If they mean it in a sense where it's only up from here, where I'm like, no one can stop me. Like, I've been through enough to, it's only up from here. Like, no one can bring me down. If that's what they mean, then I kind of agree on that kind of quote. But if they mean that they're going to stay up there, that's false. But yeah, I agree. Like, no one's gonna stop me. No one can stop me. They can try to delay me, and I've said this multiple times before. You can try to delay me. You can try to stop me. It's not gonna work. You may delay me a little bit, but it's not gonna make me go, all right, you know what? All this fucking done. No. I've been held back so many times with this, so many times, and I'm still gonna keep going. You're like, well, maybe it's time to no, try a different approach. So maybe it's time to stop. No, try a different approach. Try a different way. Mine, I've done so much research and so much trying and so much things, and my purpose that it's meant to be my purpose of doing what I'm doing now in this moment. And the only thing that I'm not doing, and that has bugged me ever since I got my surgery and getting my new teeth, is my music. And today, again, it was raining today, so bringing down my bag with all my stuff in it would be I'm glad I fucking didn't, because it's fucking raining out. But I wanted to come shoot the podcast today. And then tomorrow I was going to come down and hopefully it's not raining, and hook up my mic and my laptop and try to at least record something, because I truly was going to record just before my surgery, but then I was like, you know what, I'll wait, because my mouth is going to change. So it's not that I don't want to or like whatever. I still need to get back in the rhythm of like writing again more. But the songs I want to record, I mean, my mouth, right? And I mean, it's an excuse, but it's a valid excuse, because it's right now, yes, I'm talking fine and all that fun stuff, but I think it's up here too, but also it's my mouth. So, but anyways, tomorrow, tomorrow I'm gonna make an attempt to try. And if I get back in the rhythm, then I know that that's how it works. You gotta do the same thing for like a good couple weeks or so, get back in that same rhythm of what you've wanted to do and what you want to do. And once you get back in that rhythm, that's why I can do the video things and up and down, but I have to keep consistently doing it. And that's when it consistently keeps growing and keeps, once you get in that rhythm, then you're flowing, right? But you got to find that rhythm. And once I find it again with my music, then I won't stop. And I know I'm talented enough, and I say that with confidence, meaning that I know how to write, I know how to rap, and I know how to sing, I know how to record, I know how to edit. So there's no excuse. There's not like, well, I need to learn. No, it's just that I need to do it. And it's the only thing that I haven't done when I talk about passions and all that stuff is music. But most of it's like, I like shooting videos, I like talking about things, I like editing. I like selling stuff, being an entrepreneur. I like creating, with my brand. But the one thing I haven't ever since my mouth is my music. I haven't done it for like 3 or 4 years or whatever, in the relationship thing, and then the drinking, and then these up and downs. The stories are on my videos. But, that's my music. My music. Yeah, education on all that. The homeless people, I know that I don't agree with half the things they're doing, but you have to understand why they're doing it. Our system is broken. Some of your mayors, your people, it's broken. Again, I'm not here to hate. I'm just pointing out the realness of it and the truth, that really what needs to be focused on. That, why is this happening? Why isn't that not happening? I'm like, all your money is being put into other things. Like our city, they're building, they're putting in new water systems and sewer systems, because they're building new housings, and they're putting in a new arena in. And they're spending $40 million on this. It says up to $40 million. That's what it says on the sign. $40.5 million or something like that. $40 million they're putting into that. And then people still complain about the homeless and addiction and what do we do and how do we do it. Look at that shit. Go look at the sign in our city, Brantford, Ontario. If you live here or live around there, go check. Like, look what they're spending, and then now go, well, why isn't the city doing anything? Because they're spending money on all those buildings that are being built and all their arenas. And again, I'm not disagreeing on the growth. I'm disagreeing on what actually, what I'm saying is that what actually can be done to fix the problem so we can make these other people happy, fix this problem, is to fix this problem. And you're making these other people happy, which is the outsiders, the arenas, and all these buildings that people can afford to live in. But then you're going to create anger, frustration, depression, more addiction, because again, you're building up all these things around these things that need to be fixed. And Toronto's doing the same thing. Hamilton's doing the same thing. Burlington's doing the same thing. London's doing the same thing. Ontario's, Canada. States is another story. It's worse or it's almost the same. I know it's around the world, but if I'm talking Canada and I'm talking Ontario, it's like that's what's happening. Look how much money. There is so much money that they put aside, and it's a fact that they put aside for the homeless programs and the addiction programs and all that shit that they could be building to help these people. They put that money aside so they can build all that shit around. They can build that all around. And fucking, yeah, like, it's crazy. And then you have your other people complaining. It's like, clearly the government wants this. Clearly, watch what you say, Kevin. Clearly the government has some other plan, right? We all fucking know that, in a sense. Some idea, whatever they're doing. Wink. But it's us, the people. And I know that I'm not going to change everybody and get everybody on board. But if you're with me and you're my people, my supporters, and you understand and you love to follow and you love to feel the real shit, then follow along. Because we build a community, we build a strong enough community, and we build enough that makes other people see it, and then makes other people see that, and then it's just a ripple effect. But right now, we're so distracted by so many fucking things, and you can start naming it 1 through Z. And yeah, 1 through Z. You start naming them all. But yeah, it's building the communities around and oh, it's happening, but then you're still complaining about, I don't understand why this person, you're going through something, why someone's complaining about this stuff. And I'm not a saint. I'm not saying I am. I've done, but I'm learning. If you know my channel and you know my stuff, I'm learning and growing. But I understand, but I don't understand in a way why these people say, it doesn't make sense for the person to just be like, oh, why are they doing that on the street? Why is a person acting like that? Why, when this person's life is doing well, they got a good family, they got, they're doing okay, unless they're truly really not. And then they have to say, I get it's frustration, or it could be something, how they're dressed, of what they saw. I don't know, jealousy of some. You tell the person, oh, I'm not jealous of that, they're on the street and homeless. Well, then why the fuck are they even saying anything? Why are you even saying anything? Don't say anything. Who cares? Don't fucking say anything. Worry about what's going on. And if you want to say something and you want to do something about it, then go to your city or start a group on Facebook, and a true one, and kick the ones that are causing issues, kick them off, and then really try to educate people or try to find out and get some knowledge from why, people like me and others out there talking about the same thing, trying to educate people on why this is happening and what can be done. And I want to live forever, so I'm gonna be able to help for a while. Facts. I'm gonna be able to help I'm gonna be able to help for a while, and I'm gonna keep doing this because I know someone wants to listen, and I know someone's out there listening, and I know. But I love doing this, and I'm going to keep doing it, whether it, you know, this jumps off right away or it doesn't. I know what's going to happen. I said if it doesn't jump up right away. I know eventually it's going to happen. And then I'm really going to show you all. And the people that have the doubts. But yeah, I really thought, I had that written down today, and I told you I'm not on no script because I don't have like, I even like put, well, it's going to be backwards, but exactly what I was talking about, I just put those in 3 words so I can remind myself how I want to put it. And then I just put my knowledge and my experience into it, put a story in there of my own, and but that's what I've been doing this for a while, but when I was really doing it like almost every other day, like on my other channel, again, link in the description, you get in this flow and you get used to it, and then it becomes more comfortable, and you don't have to you're not so overthinking it, if that makes sense. And again, it's not my spot. It's not how I want to, I wanted to do it outside today. Again, it was raining, so I couldn't. And I got to get another phone. So if anybody wants to support the brand, it keeps me going and it pushes it out for everybody, and it supports your life, it supports my life, and I really truly want to make things happen, and I've said it before, I really truly want to. So if anybody wants to support the brand Me Life Brandon Movement, Me Life Brandon Movement on Facebook. There's a Facebook page. I will put the link in the description below for my Facebook, and then when you go to my Facebook, if you don't have Facebook, go to your friend's Facebook or go to your mom's or your dad's Facebook, and yeah, you can order product there. And if you don't like what you see and you want a different color, different style, message that page, and Me Life Brandon Movement will help you out, and you can support me and you can support the brand and keep us going. Help me help you. So that's basically the main goal, and I can't really do too much, and I'm gonna keep going. I'm learning, so I'm not complaining. I'm understanding that consistency, because I know that I'll start to do this, and then there's a little bit, and then I'll start to do this, and then I'll sit there for a minute, and then I'll start to do this. So I'm like doing this now, so I'm gonna try to get here. I know you have your ups and downs. What I'm trying to say for consistency, you're supposed to keep a flow. Once you get that flow, then it's okay. But you're supposed to get to that flow. And then you can start learning more and whatever, right? Because that's what I'm noticing with creators that are doing this, and I check their pages, how they're doing it with their videos. And it's like, man, that moment where they catch it, where they catch that rhythm and they catch their followers and it keeps going, is the time I stop, or is the time I slow down. That's when you're not supposed to slow down. You're not supposed to stop. When you start to catch it and you start to get a flow, you're supposed to do it for another. Again, it could take years, it could take a few years or whatever to get there. Again, everybody has their purpose. So my purpose of my story, of how mine's going, I've had to learn, and I'm a teacher of the universe. So I'm kind of I go through these things so I can tell people my experience, the real feel, y'all, the real feel. But yeah, my mics wasn't compatible with this phone, which is dumb, because I'm hoping that you heard me out through the whole thing. I can mess with the volume a little bit. I know I've talked a little louder than before because I've learned what to do with this phone and in this room. So I'm not talking blah, 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 blah. Maybe I've mumbled a few times or looked down, but I'm thinking, chatting, The camera angle is a little bit different. Normally it's a little lower, but I was trying something different, so that happened. Yeah, so tune in for more. Subscribe to the channel. There's really not much to talk about more. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for listening. That's basically what I wanted to talk about. I mean, kind of like update me or tell if there's something, right? But mainly I wanted to like put out like a little education, little knowledge, and a little story about, you know, addiction and homeless. And, you know, I got clean in a shelter, man. I was around a bunch of drug addicts when I got clean off of alcohol, and I wasn't drinking then. So it can be done. Like, it can be done. It can be done. Well, I'm in this position, so I can't. No, you can. You just have to want it. You know, everybody has their time. But, like, when I tell people, like, personally, face to face, and they hear my story and they actually listen to it, and I tell like a little bit of it, how I got clean, they're like, there's like 1% out there, and this is almost a fact, that there's like 1% of people out there that actually can do that. And I confidently say that. I don't, and it's something to brag about because I can do it, but it's very rare that somebody, 1%, can literally sleep on the floor in a bright room like this that looks like a clinic, and you're sleeping on the floor for about 2 weeks until you find a room, until you find a shelter that you can stay in. And this is minus 15 outside, and there's like 30 people in this room, and I'm not over exaggerating at all. And I chose not to get fucking drunk or get high. You know, smoke some weed, took some edibles and stuff, and whatever. But I didn't fucking, you know, I got clean, man, in these spots. And then continued on to the shelter, had crack addicts above me, crack addicts beside me. You know, chill people, again, no judgment. Most of these people are really fucking chill and really good people. They just, you know, lost it a little bit. But I got clean and I stayed clean. So it can be done. It's not something that can't be done in these certain situations. And then I continue doing that in the living situation that I'm in right now. Walking on eggshells, doing, you know, mentally messed up sometimes. I'm doing better than what I was 6 months ago, 7 months ago, and a year ago. But again, it can be done. It doesn't matter what sometimes some situations are tougher than others, but I'm saying that it can be done when you're going through rough situations and you want to like get better and you want to like change. So, and I'm a living proof sitting right in front of you that it can be done. And yeah, this is not a promo, but Gatorade if you want to imagine. But if you want to drink Gatorade, because I do. It's blue. It's blue. Blue da ba do da boo do da da ni na mustu la la li. That's how it goes. But anyways, much love to y'all. I appreciate you tuning in. Don't forget to subscribe, like I already said. Thank you to the new people. Leave some comments below how you feel about this pod, how you feel about this video, whatever you want to call it. Leave a positive comment, leave a like, subscribe, share this with your friends and your family, with your cat, with your dog. But yeah, much love to everybody. Keep that head up and try to keep smiling.